Hi, welcome to Danette Gets Creative. I'm Danette. Here we are, back with my mixed media Four Seasons tree. So here I have this thin roll of maybe chiffon-like material, and I'm just cutting it into a thin strip, maybe 3/4 of an inch wide. And I'm going to use this to lay down on the branches a bunch of green, because what I'm trying to create with the summer tree is I'm trying to create that full green bushy tree that we would see in the summer, where when we did the fall, where most of the leaves were falling off, so there was very few leaves on there, I'm trying to create a bit of a base, a bit of a background for me to lay down summer leaves. So I'm just gathering it up using just sewing machine thread to tack it down, kind of sort of following the pattern of the branches. Little bunches, stitching it down, leaving some of the branch showing. I'm going to snip it off here and start on another branch and continue this process until all the branches are covered and we have a good base of green to build upon. Continuing to tuck and stitch. I'm not worried about putting in too many stitches because when I start to put in the leaves will also hold down the green base that I'm creating right now. Knot it off. And I will finish it off and come back with it finished. So here it is finished. A nice green base. I've taken some time to cut out some little green leaves, the same as I did with the fall leaves. A variety of shades, patterns, some solids, lights and darks. And now what I'm doing is I'm just placing them on the tree to kind of get an idea of where I want them, how many I want, what directions I want. I'm going to sew these down a little bit different than the fall leaves. I'm still going to use sewing machine cotton, but I'm not going to stitch the veins in them. I want them to be a little more freely attached. So I'm going to put a couple of stitches in at the base of each of the leaves. And you will all see as I stitch on the leaves, I add a tiny little bit of seed beads as well. I wanted to continue with a similar pattern to the fall with the material and with some beads. So there I've laid them all down just to kind of get a feel for where they might be and how full it's going to be. When you look at the end photos, you're going to see that all these leaves probably don't match with where they are now, but it's just to get a feel of where they could go. So what I'm doing is I'm coming up from the back, making one stitch down, and then coming up through the back, making a second stitch down, and that's how much I'm going to attach the leaves. So up one, down, and then up again and down. So just a tiny little stitch, actually 2 stitches, where you think that the leaf would actually attach to the tree. So I do a few here, tacking them down. And then you'll see that I'm going to go in with a seed bead just to add that little bit of consistency among the seasons. So a couple more stitches holding leaves on. There we go. Close up. And now you see I've taken most of the leaves off. And now I'm going to add a little seed bead. Little green seed bead. Kind of where the two stitches meet. Little seed bead. I apologize, in this little section of the video you're going to see a couple of blurred moments, and that's because I come up to show you and then my hand's coming up and I'm bumping into the arm where I'm videoing. It's definitely a different process when you're dealing with a big piece of canvas versus a small piece of fabric. So here you can see it's a little bit blurry, so I apologize for that. But I do realize, and I do correct it here, or it corrects itself, I can't remember. But the blurry section, fortunately, does not last long. So yeah, please forgive me for those few little blurry moments. They, thankfully, don't last very long. So just putting in another bead, adding that little bit of decorative element to the leaf, and I'm going to go off screen and continue these leaves. You don't need to watch me put down 30 or 40 leaves here. I think you understand what I'm doing. Putting two simple little stitches in to hold it where you think it might be attaching to the tree, and then grabbing a little seed bead for that decorative element and adding it to the tree. Sorry, not to the tree, but to the leaf. So I'm going to continue along, finish up the tree, and I will come back and show you the finished tree. Last few little leaves. And at the end of this video, you'll see a few photos close up so you can see how the leaves have been put on and how it all came together. Hope you're enjoying this series. This mixed media is definitely a learning curve for me, but I'm enjoying it, and I hope you're enjoying it too. Take care. See you in the next episode, where I'm going to do spring, and I'm going to do some pretty little blossoms. Thanks again for watching. Take care. Bye.